Hello, welcome back to another video. I hoped my PC would be fixed by now because I think I really would have loved to edit this video, so I'm back on the old phone format for now. But I wanted to talk about the Xbox news that's been dominating, actually shadowed Blue Point getting closed, which was ridiculous as well. But I wanted to talk about Phil Spencer retiring. So the news has broken that Phil Spencer has retired as of today, Monday the 23rd. And Sarah Bond has also resigned. Matt Booty's been promoted, which I find ridiculously fucking mad because I think he doesn't know his ass from his elbow. But the news has come, and everyone's kind of. What fascinates me the most is how people are surprised by this, and that take it as face value. Even though a few months ago he was saying he's nowhere near close to retiring, and then he's retiring now before the Xbox 25th anniversary, which is strange that they haven't, he hasn't been there for that. You would have thought that would have been quite important. And it just tells me that he's been. I mean, nobody knows for sure apart from Greg Miller. Greg Miller has some information that he refuses to read out, even though he's a fucking journalist and he's got a Kind of Funny Games daily news show where he's supposed to report on the day's news. And he said that he's read something and he knows that Phil Spencer's retirement wasn't planned. And it's just like, well, if you know something, just fucking read it out. That's called being a journalist. It's called reporting on the news. Why would you hold back information and continue everyone speculating when you know something behind the scenes? You have some insider information. Maybe it's out of respect for Phil. I don't know. Got to keep the access, But I just find it crazy, and to me, it just screams like he's basically they've said to him, you can either resign or will retire. You can either take retirement or you're fired, basically. And it sounds to me like Sarah Bond, she's either pissed off that she hasn't been given Phil Spencer's job, or she's resigned out of loyalty to Phil. Either way, who gives a fuck? I think, and I've been saying for fucking ages on this channel, Phil Spencer had to move on. He had to go. Change of leadership was totally necessary. The three, Sarah Bond, Matt Booty, and Phil Spencer, didn't have a fucking clue what they were doing. Phil Spencer's been in charge of Xbox for 12 years. Let's not forget that Phil Spencer was heavily involved in the Xbox One. He came out and announced the price for the Xbox One, so he must have known what the Xbox One was going to be like. He must have known that signed off on a few things about being an all-in-one TV sports. There's even a video on YouTube where he comes out and announces the price. Nobody claps, nobody cheers, and you can see Phil Spencer's face, and he's absolutely seething about it. I don't know if they had to retake it, so everyone was false clapping about the price. But he inherited a shit fucking mess from Don Matrick. That's it, and he's tried to right the ship. Poorly, in my opinion, but for 12 years, Xbox has just fucking bumbled along. I've said it, I've screamed in this room for years. I've screamed, I've got irate, I've ranted about how Xbox is they just can't find their groove. And it's been a long time now. Acquisitions, spending billions on these acquisitions, billions on these studios, billions on trying to buy everything because they had no games. They had Halo, Gears, and Forza. And we've almost gone full circle now because now we're back to Halo, Gears, and Forza. Do you know what I mean? And now we've got this Asha Sharma girl who's come in, and she might be great. She might do a fantastic job. But people are saying she's only been in the job 2 years at Microsoft. She doesn't play video games. I don't think you need to play video games to be head of a games company. I think it helps as long as your developers play video games and your head of departments play video games. But to some degree, yes, you probably should be playing video games if you're in the industry. But she was head of AI and Nadella's been trying to force AI into Xbox, and Phil Spencer's always been the guy that said no, and now coincidentally he's been retired, and now they've put in an AI, the head of AI, who's now CEO of whatever. And I just worry that a lot of people are now going to lose their jobs. I think a lot of studios are going to get closed. I think everything under that umbrella of the acquisition, apart from Call of Duty, even though the last Call of Duty was fucking shit, I think everything under that umbrella is everything's free game now. Nobody's safe. I don't think anything's safe. So it's crazy. It would have been nice if Phil Spencer retired and rode off into the sunset and got to see the 25th anniversary and passed the torch to this new person in some sort of way. He said goodbye, she said hello, but obviously they want to change things up. The console isn't selling. Game Pass isn't hitting the subscribers it needs to hit. They're tanking up the price of consoles. They're tanking up the price of Game Pass. There's no real kind of, everything's getting released on PlayStation and Nintendo and PC. You've got this new console hybrid PC that's apparently still coming out, which I don't think it is. And it's just sort of like, I don't think a new console that's going to be very, very expensive, through Sarah Bond, what she was saying, I don't think that's just going to fix it. You've just had the Xbox ROG Ally X come out. Nobody bought it. Not literally, obviously some people bought it, but a lot of people were giving them away. Insiders and, mouthpieces. And surely you look at the data of a really expensive £1,000 fucking handheld and you think, okay, that didn't sell well. I know a good idea. We'll bring out a really expensive PC hybrid fucking console. Just buy a PC. Just buy a PC. I don't understand. So I've said it. I'm so glad I've said all this in the past, because something in my gut just says that next Xbox console is just not coming out. They're already on about there's RAM shortages, PlayStation 6 potentially getting delayed till 2029, 2030 because of all these RAM shortages, which I'm happy with, because I still think the PS5's got legs. I still think they could quite happily sit on the PS5 for another 3-4 years, just like they did with the PS4. There's no rush to bring out a new PlayStation, in my opinion. And I think Xbox, the last thing that they want to do, or the last thing I think they should do, is release a new console. After the Xbox One generation and the Xbox Series X generation, two failed generations, two failed consoles, and they want to bring out a third console, which is more expensive. It just doesn't make sense to me. It just does not make sense. And Phil Spencer's probably a nice guy. He's probably a really nice guy. You could tell he cared about video games, but in terms of he was a fucking PR nightmare. Mixed messaging, talking out of both sides of his mouth, couldn't get a fucking straight answer out of him for anything. Double speak. Just couldn't really find the pulse on Xbox, and it's just crazy. And what kind of makes me kind of a little bit, I wouldn't say anxious, because at the end of the day I couldn't give a fuck. At the end of the day, is this new person, and it's the AI thing, and are we going to be going down the road of developing games, just using AI to develop games? We're not using people as much. People are going to lose their jobs. Everyone in that acquisition umbrella, or anyone who works at a studio that's under Xbox, is probably fucking shitting their pants now, because it's just crazy. It's crazy, And then you've got, it didn't take Colt Eastwood long to post a screenshot of, he was showing a screenshot showing everyone that Sasha, this new girl's following him on Twitter, so he's putting his foundations in, trying to crawl up her arsehole already, But I feel like saying I told you so, because I've been saying this for years about Xbox. I'm amazed Phil Spencer was in that job as long as he was. I'm amazed Xbox is still a thing. I'm amazed. I don't think they're going to be a thing for long. I think they'll probably turn into Microsoft Gaming or whatever. I don't understand. But yeah, it's sort of bittersweet, really. It's bittersweet because they needed to change the leadership, I felt. Phil Spencer's out. Sarah Bond's out, which was a bit of a shock. Matt Booty's been promoted, which I just find bizarre. And then we've got this new AI woman who's taken over. And somebody tweeted at her saying they think exclusive should come back, and she said, she typed back, "Hear you." People are also saying that she's using AI to reply to people, and people are taking that little "hear you" comment and being like, exclusives are coming back to Xbox. It's not going to happen. You can't walk that back after the genie's out the bottle. So it's an interesting, I wouldn't say is it an interesting time? I mean, it's certainly an uncertain time. But But all these diehard Xbox loyalists, like, got to really feel for them. And some of them are trying to put a positive spin on it, and I appreciate the candor, but like I just feel like it's just one thing after another with Xbox. It's one thing after another. And then, it seems like when PlayStation step on a rake and they close Blue Point or something like that, Xbox like has to fucking trump them with stuff. And if they have a win, it's not a win for long because something else comes along. And I just feel like they're cursed. I just feel like they're cursed, and I don't think a new console is going to fix it. I just don't. So I think they're pretty much done. I think this is a huge shift in where they wanted to go. Stadia Nadella, he wanted to kill the Xbox brand years ago. 360 era, he wanted to kill it. Or was it the Xbox One era? I can't remember. He wanted to knock Xbox on the head completely and be like, "Ah, fuck this." So strap in, because I don't think the news is over. But like I say, we'll have to see what she's going to do, and just watch closely what's going to happen. But it's a crazy time for news for on the Xbox side anyway. But yeah, Blue Point getting closed down, really shit as well. Sony could have, and Herman Hulst, I think it's time he moved on as well, to be honest with you. But Blue Point could have totally just give Blue Point every single remake they wanted to do and be like, right, can you remake Metal Gear Solid for us? Can you remake this? Can you remake that? I just don't understand. But this is the sign of the industry. It's maybe too big. There's too many people working in the industry. It's not a secure career path, I don't think. I'm not an insider, never claimed to be a fucking insider. I am a customer first. I play video games, been playing video games for a long time. I enjoy gaming. I try and support gaming where I can, I've even subscribed to Game Pass for the past 3 months because I moved the Xbox downstairs. I was like, I'm going to use it as a hybrid Sky Blu-ray player that plays video games. So that's now in the downstairs living room, and I subscribed to Game Pass thinking, I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm gonna see if I wanted to play. I can't remember what it was. What the fuck was it? It's just come out. I can't remember. But Game Pass for me is very much like Netflix, and Netflix is only good when there's stuff to watch. We were watching stuff. We were scrolling Netflix the other day, and I said to Helen, I was like, I'm really struggling to find things to watch on here now. And she said exactly the same. So we were like, should we just fucking cancel it for a couple of months and we'll go to fucking Disney Plus or Paramount or something? So she was like, yeah. And it's the same with Game Pass. I was scrolling through it, and I went for the highest tier, scrolling through it, downloaded a few games I wanted to play, and then I was just scrolling through it, and I was like, there's so much here that I've already played and I don't want to revisit. And I was just like, there's not really a lot there keeping me. So in the end, cancelled it on the last month, got my money back. Completely got my money back. And that's something that I find crazy that you can still do. You can subscribe to Game Pass, play and finish a game within a few days or a week, and then cancel your subscription and get your money back. Get all of your money back. No questions asked, refunded. So essentially you can just get Game Pass for free. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just bizarre. It's very, very consumer friendly, but from a business standpoint, it's fucking crazy how you can get away with doing that. But let me know what you think in the comments. Hopefully I'll get my PC fixed soon. I'm going to get a guy to come and look at it. I've tried to fix it myself, which I've probably made it worse because now it won't even come on, won't even turn on. So I'm going to have to send that away to get fixed. And that's it. So if you like the video, leave a like, leave a subscribe. All the support I get is very, very appreciated. Thank you very much for recent subscribers and recent comments on my Resident Evil battery video that still generates views and stuff. So appreciate that. Thanks very much. See you on the next one. Take care of yourselves.